All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakam Wadash. Double honors to the head apostles of Great Millstone, who do rule well and teach well with sound doctrine. Shalom to the elders and the elder bishops of Great Millstone as well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to all the sincere Akim and Aqua who do subscribe to this truth. A hearty shalom to the men out there in the highways and byways, highways and hedges, preaching and teaching in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and risking their freedom, now more so than ever, especially in these times of what's going on, making their bodies a living sacrifice out there on the highways and byways, highways and hedges, with the testimony of our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, which is the spirit of prophecy. And last but not least, a hearty shalom to the men of Valor Camp, New Jersey, NYC, South Carolina, DTA Camp, Philly, Baltimore, Jersey, NYC. First camp I ever heard the truth from, Isaiah 62 verses 6 through 7. Those that make mention of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, keep not silence. Give him no rest day or night, till Jerusalem is a praise in the earth. So back at it, once again, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Lord's will, you'll find this camp session edifying. And with no further ado, we'll go into the news. But before we go into the news, let's zoom in the camera a little bit. Shalom, Akia, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Barakatah. So we're not that far away. It's a little closer, you know. No further ado, let's go to the first article. So we're going into the news first, article by article, bit by bit.
All right, the first article is watch mass protests erupt in Greece after government bans.
Yeah. We didn't go over that part. It's all good.
That's all the ones that you,
we'll start from here.
yeah, that's the ones that you gave me from yesterday.
Yeah, South Africa. We'll start there. That's lucky. We meant to go over that before we got out here, so it's all good.
All right, 72 killed as South Africa grapples with its worst political violence since apartheid.
So
Apartheid.
In South Africa, you have people looting and rioting, burning down stores, going into buildings, taking out food. It literally looked like when the Minneapolis situation broke out and they were going into stores and things like that to the 10th power. There's people on rooftops filming it, and it's on IG as well. And that's coming to Babylon pretty soon. You also have Cuba in the same type of situation. And you haven't heard what's happened in Colombia in over a month and some change now, you know? And what's happening in Cuba. They're rounding up men that are our age and younger and forcing them to join the military, you know? Forcing them to join the military and basically forcing them to join the New World Order, you know? Because they're going door to door, rounding up young men in the night hours between like 11 and like 3 or 4 in the morning. And that's going to come to Babylon pretty soon in the form of rounding people up and taking them to those re-education centers, those FEMA camps. We won't read the whole. That's pretty much just the headline. Oh, well, damn. That was just footage. We can play that in the late night. When it's a little more quiet, so people can get an idea. Those are clips. Yeah.
All right, Greece and France join Italy in making jab mandatory for health workers, telling the unjabbed they won't get paid.
Yep. No jab, no job. No jab, no pay. And New Zealand was the first country to push out that vibration. And that's coming to Babylon pretty soon as well. It's only a matter of time before the FDA actually approves this abominable poison. And pretty soon your job has that QR code right in front of the building, and you only can get in the building if you have the QR code, and you can only get the QR code if you have the juice, you know?
Because they did do that in Texas.
They're doing that in France right now.
Yeah.
And people are taking to the streets right now. Yeah. We'll go into article. Go into the article public show. Is that the actual article? So I sent the picture. Then I think that's the article right there. So.
How to enforce.
It's all good.
This one?
Yeah.
All right. USSA.
Tower 13 area. Lifeguards in the area are going to go out of service momentarily. Please exit the water.
That's real.
Come back. Once again, lifeguards are going out on duty, ask that you please put your feet on the bottom, walk into the beach, and come back tomorrow when lifeguards are back on duty at 8 a.m. Thank you.
Yeah, we're good. I just want to make sure he wasn't talking over you, you know?
Okay. USSA News, DHS training course prepare for mass public quarantine of jab Royal Americans.
Unjab. So,
Public.
yep. So the Department of Homeland Security, what they have is a training course to prepare for mass quarantine of unjabbed Americans. You know? And read into that article a little bit.
Department of Homeland Security has a training course available to law enforcement, healthcare workers, and other government employees that will detail how to prepare and execute a mass public quarantine of the unjabbed in royal areas of the United States.
That's why Joe Biden has what's called a Delta, what's it, Delta Strike or something like that? Delta Force or something like that? That's what their door-to-door campaign is called. That's a war terminology. And pretty soon they're going to use the military. Yeah, they're going to use the military like they're using in Australia to do exactly that. And those military soldiers who aren't going to be down, you know, they're gonna break off, and then they're eventually going to use those foreign troops, those UN troops, you know, those Gerber troops.
If you are still stuck on the left versus right paradigm lie, now is the time to figure it out. We are slaves and always have been. The illusion of freedom is gone, and those law enforcers are going to do masters' bidding. This training is a horrifying look into our upcoming dystopian future if we cannot open our eyes to reality. All right. A Department of Homeland Security training program has provided a model for the federal government, its armed forces, to normalize mass public quarantine measures despite the fact infections deaths are dropping in the U.S.
Yep. And what are they doing now? They're monitoring. I think there was a senator that asked for them to monitor people's SMS text messages. He asked for cell phone providers to be able to monitor people's SMS text messages for medical disinformation. You know, they're keeping track of who's naughty and who's nice in the form of the New World Order, who's down with their program and who's not down. Because when they're going door to door, it's in their actual program that they're keeping track of who doesn't get the Mad Max and who doesn't. So when the military comes, then when they do that, the first article, the header right here, the mass quarantine, they know exactly who to round up and who not to round up, you know, because they've taken a tally when they go door to door of who wants to take it and who doesn't want to take it. They're monitoring your text messages. They're monitoring the internet via the World Health via the World Economic Forum. You know, Klaus Schwab is keeping a track, and his constituents through social media companies, of who's putting out disinformation. Disinformation according to who? You know, according to the New World Order and their agenda, and what they want people to believe and what they want people to perceive, versus what's actually in those potions that they're putting in people's bodies, which is mRNA, nanoparticles, so on and so forth, you know? And people are turning into cyborgs, you know? They're turning on light bulbs, they're connecting to smart devices, you know? And they're already starting to promote the RFID implantable microchip, saying that it can do all sorts of miracles and so on and so forth. So they're slowly introducing this Orwellian New World Order beast system into society and normalizing it, man. Right in front of people's faces. And the people who aren't in the know are just thinking it's great technology, it's gonna do this, it's gonna do that. Oh yeah, go down there and, you know, go get poked up. Not knowing what's in that potion. And the people who take that potion have a life expectancy of only 2 to 3 years max. You know?
And that was also funded by the Rockefeller Foundation. I saw that they put $13.5 million.
We'll get to that in a second.
So you good on that one?
Yeah, we're good on this one. So we're going into the news first.
Attention swimmers, skiboarders, waders.